What is up, good people? Jungle Inc. here, hope you're doing well. Well, it's official, the BlackRock XRP ETF is officially a fraud. The Delaware authorities have referred the fake BlackRock XRP trust filing over to the state's Justice Department. It's kind of what we thought, but I did do that follow-up video last night because I wasn't personally comfortable calling it a fraud because it was so similar to the Ethereum filing. Earlier in the day, I compared it to the Bitcoin filing. I'm like, wow, this isn't even close. And it was almost exactly the same as the Ethereum filing. So I did that video, said, look, we're going to have to get a little more information here. Now, a lot of people are wondering about the mechanics. How could someone fake the registered agent? It made me think about this. You know, a lot of people, without my permission, just figure, you know what, let's just have my accountant be my registered agent. And they list me on there when they form new entities. Now, that's not a service I offer because there's a lot of liability there. If they get some sort of legal notice and I don't forward it to them, they could get a default judgment or a tax notice. They need to get a copy of that as well. You know, you're taking on a lot of risk, and it's not something I do, but I know people do list me on there without my permission. In the state, they don't call me up and are like, is this okay? I just find out about it because I start getting mail. I call the client and say, please remove me and find someone else to be your registered agent. And so if you put this BlackRock officer on there as your registered agent, they're just going to, accept the paperwork. Now, whoever did that committed massive fraud, of course. If they're caught, it's going to be, a major issue. And the further thing about Delaware is it's very private. If you notice, it doesn't tell you who the owners are or, anyone else other than just that registered agent. That's one of the reasons people love Delaware, above and beyond the fact that the courts are favorable to business and things like that. It's why a lot of your businesses are located in Delaware, where other states, they just give all your information away. Now, today I did a short. I actually released it here in the morning, but I wanted to expand on that idea a little bit more. You only get, 60 seconds on a short to talk about things. So in BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, one of the interesting sections is the risk section. Things like, the mining costs could go too great and maybe the network would be insecure, or hacks or problems with custodians, all of that. But the interesting part was one of their risks is competition of other blockchains. Who do they see is the main forces within crypto? It's probably a good guide also to who they may offer, ETFs in the future as they expand. I think they'll start with Bitcoin and Ethereum and gauge the appetite there for these products. But we know they're going to roll off to other altcoins, and you can use that a little bit as a guide. But above and beyond just the specific blockchains they name, because they name Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, and Avalanche. Now, I have all of those except for Solana and Avalanche, but you notice the theme here. There's no dApps, there's no payment networks. They're all layer 1 smart contract blockchains. I'm hearing people nowadays say, oh, that's 2020 and 21. No one cares about that anymore. That's the building blocks of most things you want to do within crypto, and it's only sensible that, building all that utility will flow back on those layer 1 smart contract chains. I think we're going to continue to see success there, and that's where we saw it in again, the last bull run. And so I'm not telling you to go pile into BlackRock's picks, even though that might be an indicator of where we see future ETFs. Beyond that, what are competitive chains, layer 1 smart contract blockchains that maybe can contend with those 5? You know me, I'm not a huge fan of Solana, even though I believe price-wise it'll probably do quite good. I don't have any AVAX. I'm not saying it's bad, just don't have any. But there's also competitive chains that I think can jump up here and compete with those other layer 1s. And you want to have, I think a lot of exposure there as we approach the next bull run. I see a lot of people doing wacky stuff. They got a bunch of Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin and, a ton of dApps. And that's fine to have exposure there, but don't ignore this area of crypto, because that's kind of your lifeblood. Now today, Cathie announced ARK will be launching 5 new blockchain-based ETFs. So everything within these ETFs will have some connection to crypto or blockchain. And the main things are Bitcoin and Ethereum futures ETFs, but also in infrastructure and, just digital asset companies. As we approach the next bull run, of course, we're going to see a lot of action within, artificial intelligence. But I think also crypto companies will make a comeback. Eventually, you're going to get a Ripple IPO and just a lot of wonderful companies out there that are building businesses on blockchain and blockchain's capabilities. In the second of 3 Cathie Wood stories, I was combing through some of these ETF filings, looking for anything to do with the XRP fraudster fund we saw roll out, and I thought this was interesting. In a filing with the SEC, Cathie Wood's ARK ETF Trust, in their Form N-CSR, said the following. This was filed on 10/6/23. XRP, after a landmark ruling by the U.S. District Court, which states the coin XRP is not a security in terms of sales to the general public. And in that filing, she was talking about what a historic, ruling that was, not only for Ripple and XRP, but the whole crypto space, and how it really applies back to Coinbase and the battle they're fighting, and that this really gives cryptocurrency hope that we can get sensible rules from the courts, even if regulators won't play along. Now, lastly, Cathie Wood speculates that Gary Gensler is using political ambition, which is affecting his decision on spot Bitcoin ETFs. And we know this is true because we heard him talk before he became chairman. And he said it doesn't make sense. You have a futures ETF and not a spot ETF. Why would you not have that product? It's better for investors. It's foundationally the same as futures ETFs because it's based on the market price of Bitcoin, of course. And if one's being manipulated, the other would be too. So it doesn't make sense. And now he's changed his tune. Well, it's because he's a political puppet. And his buddy Elizabeth Warren doesn't want to introduce these products because she hates crypto, or at least she's paid to hate crypto, or the people that support her hate crypto. And so he's a little puppet over there doing her bidding. And that's the big problem. A lot of times someone can sound great before they sit in that chair, but it's all about the political pressure. And I think that's going to change in a big way because there's a lot of money in crypto and crypto businesses, and money talks, man. Politicians love money even more than the rest of us. So I think we're going to see the government loosen up here a little bit on crypto regulations as we continue to go forward. Going to be a hot button topic as we head into an election year. Now, it's very possible we get ETFs in crypto and this space goes ballistic, before the end of the year. But the SEC, what they probably should do here, because there's a lot of different ETFs, they want to approve them all at the same time. I personally think they should punt it to January of 2024. I think that's as far out as they can extend this thing, get it right, get the launch correct, and let those ones that are ready roll out those ETF products together so you're not, minting kings here within the crypto space. And really, Grayscale, they deserve to be there with the first, the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, and I know they were in this big lawsuit. I hope they don't just punish Grayscale for that and don't let them get their ETF out with everyone else. They should be out the gates running with everyone in this industry. What we have to look at here, we know ETFs are coming, going to be a big driver. We're going to see some regulatory clarity. I think they'll start with stable coins, but that's going to start rolling out. And then lastly, we had the Bitcoin halvening, and it's just about time, right? We're ramping up. I don't know exactly when, but this space will spark alive, and it's going to be an amazing ride. Just hang in there. There can be volatility along the way. We understand that. We embrace that. But we know where we are headed eventually, and sooner than later. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Inc.